When someone passes away, the debts they leave behind can be one of the most confusing parts of settling an estate. A lot of questions arise, such as who do you pay first? What if there isn't enough money? And how do you even keep track of what's owed? In this video, I'll show you a simple way to organize debts during probate using the Estate Compass spreadsheet. This is the exact system and framework I designed to help Michigan families stay clear and confident through the estate settlement management process. Step 1. Identify every obligation. The first step is simply awareness. Debts to the estate can include mortgages, credit cards, medical bills, car loans, even utility balances. In Michigan probate, all of these are considered part of the estate's obligations, and the executor is responsible for listing them before any assets can be distributed. Step 2. Record in the spreadsheet. Inside the Debt Tracker tab of the Estate Compass spreadsheet, you see a simple table. Each table represents a different debt category, such as mortgages and vehicles, or in other words, collateralized loans. Unsecured debt, those would be like your credit cards, personal loans, and medical bills, as well as student loans, whether those are private or federal government student loans. Other debts that can't really be categorized as one of the three, but they kind of tend to be less common, such as personal loans, like to families and friends, leases or rent that could possibly, like the lease of a car or rent of a home, as well as some business debts. Those ones have some peculiarities or unique circumstances in there that definitely would want to consult with attorney for those debts, as well as lastly, taxes. So to start, you just simply go ahead and list the debt in the description. Let's call this a mortgage. So we're going to label it MSUFCU, mortgage on a personal property or a primary residence. In the debt type, you can select the various debt types, whether it's a mortgage, a HELOC, or home equity loan, or line of credit, or something else. Or if you're unsure, you can select unknown or to verify. We'll clear some of these status because when you're entering at first, nothing will appear. So if we are unknown or we need to verify, we can review this to see if we need to verify it. Let's select it's a mortgage. In the ownership type or the obligation type, we can also select. And then we can select the amount, and then we can put a status code in here. These status codes allow us to verify our debts and creditors. We can also use it to keep track of creditors that are claimed that we know about, or even unknown creditors if we make a publication notice and we then receive notification or a claim against the estate. And this really helps us to track and organize. Step 3, prioritize and verify. Once everything has been entered, it's time to verify. At some point, you're probably most likely to list unknown or to verify. When you finally figure out, you finally verify, you can go ahead and select the ownership type. Inside the spreadsheet, we use some logic, some probate logic based on understanding of Michigan probate. And it gives you a little formula or a spit out answer of whether or not the estate may be liable. Take into account the state liability as a function, and it may not be 100% accurate. So we do allow for executor override. This is where you would obviously sit or consult with your attorney to determine whether or not something is indeed actually going to pass through probate or the estate is going to be liable for it. And then from there, we can review our estate and start to get an understanding of some of the obligations that the estate may have. This financial tracker section of the spreadsheet calculates the different liabilities if the estate is or isn't liable for them based on numbers and information entered into the beginning part of the spreadsheet. At this point, you can begin getting a clear picture or a financial picture of the estate. From here, you can also share the sheet with your attorney, your accountant, or your family and friends, that whoever is necessary, so that you can keep everybody on the same page. It's not about doing everything yourself. It's about having clarity so you can make a good decision. If you'd like the same tool, you can download the Estate Compass spreadsheet.